Well,
Here.
This is anti-climax.
That's a pretty good way to describe it.
Can we go back?
Oh, that is the cable too. That's actually kind of cool, yeah.
Where?
In his hand. It's in his hand. I think 1 of 6 or 1 of 2. Only 2.
Under the beach where we are. So yeah, this is it. So I give it still have a full distraction, but I don't want to use the megaphone. Just everybody hear me? I don't want to disturb the beachgoers where we already are. So there's 2 of these cables basically beneath our feet. One probably right behind me, another one maybe another 20 feet, 30 feet that way. So they're both kind of on this far end of Covell's beach. And then both cables go under the beach to the parking lot over there. We'll go see where the vault cover is, where the actual cables land beneath. So there's 2 of these, each about a foot thick. And then under the roadways, these 3 cables that you see, 1, 2, 3, they pop out into these thinner cables, and there's 6 of those under the roadway, 3 from each of the 2 offshore cables. This cable is a solid dielectric cable. There's no fuel or lubricant or oil or anything to cool the cable's components. It has its own cooling because of the dense material that separates each of these 3 conductors that you see with this ribbony plastic material. Under our feet right now, about 45 to 50 feet below is where you find these cables. So they're very, very deep. They were installed by a barge right off of Covell's beach here, drilling them using horizontal directional drilling directly into the beach and then landing under the pavement behind us. So there's really nothing to see. You'd have no knowledge that they're here otherwise. As Senator Sear mentioned during his remarks, we did testing yesterday of the magnetic fields. There is none on the beach. The cable's too deep. And the only place you find them is the actual readings of magnetic fields are back in the back of the lot where the vault covers are that we'll see. So folks here, as you see, are enjoying this beach, and there's really no concern because magnetic fields are not harmful to human health anyways, and they're not readable in any significant way here on the sand anyways, because the cables are so deep beneath us. Any questions?
Yes.
Yeah, Carol.
Could you remind me how thick the concrete is? And forgive me if you said that and I missed it. How thick the concrete casing is that encases this?
So underneath the beach, it's actually in a casing pipe, I think a high dense polymer. Essentially looks like a open pipe that was installed first, and then the cables get pulled through that. The concrete is actually under the roadways. There's a concrete box that probably has at least a foot and a half of full concrete around all the cables.
Okay.
It's essentially that under the roadways, there's 6 of these little cables that go through a concrete box that essentially looks like a piece of Swiss cheese with 6 holes through it, and then each cable goes through.
Okay, I misunderstood. I thought there was a concrete pipe around these.
No,
I don't know where I read that.
There's what they call casing pipe.
Yeah.
That's what's installed first, and then the cables drug through it.
Okay, thank you.
Feet. And as we go up the beach, it goes more to maybe like 30 feet below.
And so 50 feet, is that like from here to that noodle, to the green noodle? Further?
A little farther, maybe that by the beach sign. If not, we'd have to measure it.
The yellow sign? Sorry, he was standing in front of it. I couldn't see it. Okay.
We'd have to measure it to be a little more
So
accurate.
okay. Yeah, so that's pretty deep. That's a lot of sand.
Yes.
Thank you.
So you were saying it goes to 30 feet. Does it have varying depths? Or?
Yeah, the way they do is so it's at its deepest pretty much at the water line here, and then it goes up at a slight angle as it gets towards the parking lot. And then the shallowest it is in the back of the parking lot is about 10 feet beneath the actual pavement.
But it still has all that concrete.
Yeah.
wrapping.
Yeah, exactly. Which all sort of shield any of the magnetic field from getting up here. And the Earth absorbs the magnetic field so that if you're sitting here on the beach, you won't feel anything. It's also really important. Sometimes you hear, what about if I have a pacemaker or a medical device? There's no known association between any level of magnetic field harming someone who has a medical device within their body. You get exposed every day to magnetic fields from hair dryers and electric razors and electric lawn appliances like weed whackers and all that kind of stuff, all of which have hundreds and hundreds of milligauss of magnetic field, much higher than what we're talking about here at this beach.
Is this dual cable configuration the same plan that were the other end?
Essentially the same plan in the west end of Craigville Beach where we just were. It would be over there near the entrance where we all came in by Long Beach Road. That's where that would be installed, down that far end of Craigville.
Have you ever had to do any maintenance on this part of the cable? How would you identify where the cable is?
So we have as-built drawings, and I have a picture of it in my pocket if you'd want. So we can detect exactly, and from the little discernible magnetic field that you can have, you also can find the exact cable below by using a Gauss meter to find it. So. Any other questions?
How long do you last?
Only less. These cables are rated for at least 30 years. Most of the components for the wind farm are pretty much all 30 years at this point. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to walk up here. I want folks to see a sign that the town Barnstable just put up. We're going to see that sign. And then we'll go to the back end of the parking lot. Please watch for cars and just see the vault covers briefly. And then we'll head back. Yeah.
So after the 30 years, you replace them?
Yeah, because the casing pipe is solid, you could just pull out the old cable and pull in new cable. Very, very little environmental impact to make that change. Let's go see the sign.